True healing begins when you reclaim your sexual story. The videos you're about to listen to will lead you through healing from sexual wounds and trauma.
Not every sexual struggle comes from lust. Sometimes it comes from pain, deep pain, from silent scream of a soul that was touched, used, or violated before it ever understood its worth. Maybe you've been carrying that scream. It may be buried under years of silence. It may be under a fake smile or under a shame that does not even belong to you. Welcome to episode 6 in our journey of sexual intelligence, healing from sexual wounds and trauma, reclaiming your sexual story. Today, we're going to confront what many avoid. These are deep wounds that shape our sexuality and how to heal them. We're going to look at this topic under a few subheadings. Number 1 is understanding sexual wounds. But I'd like to tell you that underneath these behaviors, these struggles, lies something deeper. These are wounds, and it is not all wounds that bleed. It is not all wounds that are visible. Sexual wounds are not always physical. Sometimes they're emotional, they are purely psychological, or even spiritual. They can come from many places. They can come from childhood abuse or molestation. They can come from unwanted touch that was never spoken about. They can come from exposure to pornography too early, even before we know what sex is all about. It can come from religious shame about our body. It can come from toxic relationships that manipulated and degraded us. These wounds can come from betrayal by someone we trust. But I tell you, the truth is here. That many don't want to talk about. The truth that many don't want to talk about is that wounds that are not healed become pattern. When you have wounds and those wounds are not healed, definitely they become patterns. And when you have pains that are not processed, those pains become personality. They become your personality. Then number 2, we need to understand how wounds shape behavior. Definitely the wounds we carry, whether we like it or not, whether we admit it or not, they shape our behavior. Many of us are not addicted really to sex. We are only addicted to what sex covers up. Let me ask you. You see, before I even ask you, we discover that sex is not really the issue, but addiction to sex becomes a bandage for a deeper wound. You know, when you have a deeper wound and then you bandage it, it doesn't solve the problem. But let me ask you this question. Do you find yourself using sexual fantasies to escape emotional emptiness? When you have emotional emptiness, are you tempted to use sexual fantasies, to escape those emptiness? So do you find yourself using porn to escape rejection? So now, you find yourself using partners. You are seeking for partners, not because you want that relationship, but because you had a father wound or a mother wound. You are looking for a relationship not for love, but because of some injuries, some wounds you had, as a result of, parental influence. Or do you fear intimacy because you were touched at one point of your life and then it became a problem to you? Do you know that others run from intimacy because touch feels dangerous? These behaviors may not make sense initially. When we look at it from a glance, they may not make sense. But when we trace the story backward, when you ask, what happened to me? Instead of, what is wrong with me? When you ask, what happened to me? Not, what is wrong with me? Everything starts to shift. This is not about blaming. It's about understanding yourself. Then go ahead and look at the path to healing. Healing is not, when we talk about healing from sexual wounds and trauma, it is not about pretending it did not happen. Healing is not forgetting, not trying to remember what happened to you, or it is remembering what happened to you without being owned or being controlled by the pain. Let's walk the journey together. There are 5 steps to sexual healing. Number 1 is you name the wound. Don't avoid the wound. Name the wound and ask yourself, what happened to me? Not in anger, not in shame, but in truth. What happened to me? Write it down. Speak it to yourself. Reflect on it. Revisit everything that happened to you without shame. Because unspoken pains never heals. Silence keeps them alive. Then number 2, grieve the loss. Don't pretend it didn't happen. Don't pretend it didn't pain you. It pained you. Let yourself cry. Scream. Sit in sadness. Grieve the childhood you never had. Grieve the innocence that was stolen away from you. This is a sacred work. Seek a counselor or a therapist if need be. Grief is not weakness. It is how the soul makes peace with loss. Number 3, you have to separate separate your what from what happened. Something had happened, that is not your what. You have to separate yourself from what happened. You are not what they did to you. You are not what you did to cope with what somebody did to you. You are not your past behavior. You are not dirty. You are not broken. You are not unlovable. Your body was misused, but I tell you, your soul is still worthy. Let's say it together. I am not what happened to me. I am who I choose to become. Number 4, you build sexual safety. Safety is not about others. Safety begins with you. It starts with you. Learn what it feels to say no and be heard. Practice boundaries. Explore safe self-touch. Reclaim your body as yours. Number 5, forgive at your pace. Don't rush it. Forgiveness is not forgetting. You're not excusing the wrong or what somebody did to you, but you are releasing its control over you. I say it again, you are not excusing the wrong that somebody did to you, but forgiving yourself is releasing the control of that thing somebody did to you over you. Forgiveness is your freedom, not their comfort. Forgiveness is for you. Forgiveness is for your freedom. It is not for their comfort. Forgiveness is for you, so the wound no longer controls you. Forgiveness is for you, so that your story can move forward. Now, let's look at the 4 tools for inner sexual healing. 4 tools for inner sexual healing. Number 1, draw a timeline of your sexual story. Mark the painful moments along the story. Write what you believe about yourself back then. Now write what is actually true. Number 2, self-forgiveness meditation. Practice self-forgiveness meditation. Sit, whisper, breathe deeply. Say to yourself, I forgive myself for what I did. I forgive myself for what I did out of pain. Say, I am safe, I am sane, and I am healing. Number 3, do a letter to the younger you. Write a letter to your 5-year-old or 12-year-old self, or the teenager who was confused and scared. Presently, do a letter back to your younger self. Offer comfort. Offer protection. Speak the truth. Let your younger self know it wasn't their fault. Before closing, I'll tell you a true story. It happened to me in my 100 level in a university. A lot of friends and people we hung around. But there was this lady who were somehow in the same fellowship. But along the line, she came to my place, and as if he had a challenge. And coming to me, she bursted into tears. And I felt moved, and I asked, what could be happening to you that you are so emotionally down? So I moved close to her, trying to comfort her. That was when the atmosphere changed, the mood changed, and then the chemistry changed. And without being told, as young adults, then we're close to mess things up. But as a young adult, I had always placed a boundary around my sexual life. And I told her, young lady, this cannot happen. No, we must still maintain our chastity. And I told her, you can begin to go. After much persuasion, she left. And going away from that place, she went to tell some of our leaders in the fellowship that she came to my house and I wanted to rape her. They believed it. When I heard, I went to the leaders and I told them, this is the story you've heard. Let me tell you my own side of the story, but they never listened to me. I went to a higher authority, told him, like our state coordinator, and he said, come next Thursday. I told him to call Sister so-and-so, call this other leader, call this other leader. Like 5 of us will come to your office, and then we trash out what happened, and then we know the truth, and then you can help us. So the day of appointment, I got to his office. I didn't meet anybody. And I asked him, where are the people? Where's the lady? Where are the other people? I felt so bad. It was a big betrayal. Not only a betrayal, a conspiracy. They didn't hear me out. They believed what that lady said. Nobody gave me a chance to say my own side of this story. It was painful. They shamed me out of the fellowship. They shamed me out of that denomination up till today. Few months after, I was writing semester exam. I was writing with one hand and I was wiping my tears with the other hand. The shame was much, the wound was much, the conspiracy was much. That was about the lowest moment of my life. Thank you, Jesus. We cannot be broken forever. So I have to find time, even though it took me time. Find time, forgive myself. It got to a point I was almost tempted to ask myself, I thought I had done the right thing, and this is coming upon me. If I had actually compromised my sexual standard, all those things wouldn't have happened to me. But I consoled myself. I knew within me I had done the right thing. The whole world may be against me, but I knew I did the right thing. That is why I'm here today. If it had happened that day, I won't be telling the whole world this story. I took time to forgive myself, forgave the lady, forgave all my leaders, and life continued. Might be in the same shoe, but I want to assure you, you can't continue to hurt. You must forgive, and then you must move forward. And let me close by telling you that redemption is possible. You are not broken beyond repair, but you are becoming. Sexual healing is not a fantasy, it is the right. Every scar has a story, and your story will not end in shame. It will end in strength. I assure you, every scar has a story, and your story will not end in shame. Your sexual story will end in strength. Thank you. I will see you in the next video.